This week, me and her at Miramonte Reservoir. We're hoping to pull some big rainbows out of that water over there. Y'all hop in, come go with us. It's gonna be an adventure.
Windows wide, the curtains fly to catch the evening breeze. Without you here to keep me warm, believe I'd rather freeze. Believe I'd rather freeze. And how long can we walk that line between the sea and sand? How long can we bide our time for dreams we never planned? For dreams we never planned. When the sky said the winter time is coming on, and you cry to see a shadow, babe, it's growing long across the lawn, another song. Tuesday night, it's 3 a.m. I ought to be asleep. If only I could tell you all about the dreams I keep. Oh, about the dreams I keep. I wake up every morning and I'm wasted all the day. I'd turn it all around if I could only hear you say that you were here to stay. When the sky said the winter time is coming on, and you cry to see a shadow, babe, it's growing long.
Speaking of adventure, man, you saw that. That was an adventure getting here. It's about a 7.5 hour drive from our home base. And we ended up staying overnight because I still work for a living, so I had to leave work Tuesday afternoon, and I didn't want to drive all that in the dark, as you can see why. We ran in through 4 blizzards, 3 one-lane construction areas, icy road conditions, and I just want you to take a look at this truck and camper. It's just horrible. I was going to wash it before I came down here. I'm glad I didn't. My goodness. I wouldn't actually call me a diehard. I just want to take every opportunity to use that fishing license that I can get. Well, I'm going to tell you, it was brutal getting here. My goodness. This morning it was 19 degrees when we woke up in that other campground, and we had to turn the heater on last night, and of course we ran out of propane, so I had to exchange a bottle today, which that's okay. Now I got 2 full bottles. We also brought the generator. We brought about a week's worth of food because there is a chance we'll get snowed in for the whole week here, so we just got to be very careful. But man, I've been looking forward to this. This is kind of a spare of the moment thing, to be honest with you. My buddy Rick from Mike and Rick Outdoors invited me down, and I've been really kind of looking forward to this for a while. Well, for the last 3 weeks. Yeah, this is gonna look really good right here. Well, let's see what we can do. So Mike told me he's been fishing here for the last 5 years, and this is what he's been using. He says they really do good. And he just showed me a cooler full of fish that he's been catching on these. So right here, right where I'm at. So let's see what happens. You know, I look at fishing kind of like deer hunting. As soon as I get in the stand and get comfortable, I expect the biggest buck, 14, 18 pointer to come out. I drop it first shot, and that's my season. Just like fishing. I expect the first cast, that big pig comes from the bottom, loves what you're offering, takes it, and you call yourself a champion. The reality is, at least for me, is I usually wait to the end of the season and have to drop a spike, or I'll fish for 2 or 3 days and maybe catch 1 or 2. But a girl can dream, right? Well, I can tell you my hands are cold, and it's hard for me to fish in gloves, so I think I'm gonna call it for a little while and go get warmed up. I may try it back again this afternoon, but right now I don't have no feeling in my hands. That's what I'm talking about.
Rainy days don't seem so wet. Stormy nights don't stay. From the moment that we met, you were worth the wait. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know. Talk for hours, I never slept. 2 silhouettes on the calm.
You know, this is crazy. It's snowing right now, and I'm outside next to a campfire when I got a nice warm camper sitting right there. You just can't really beat a fire though. They said there's so many fish in this little reservoir right here that if you can't catch anything, you might as well sell all your fishing gear. So I guess I'm gonna have a big sale when I get back. I still got 2 more days. Sun's supposed to be out tomorrow. It's supposed to be up in the mid-40s. I think we'll be okay tomorrow. It's cold. I'm gonna roll over here and see what my buddy Rick is up to. Check out his setup. Yeah, we're just coming down to check out your setup.
Well, I just cooked some chicken fajita quesadillas without the chicken because I left it at home.
Oh, but it smells good over here.
See? I burnt one side, but I think that's the better looking side.
Oh, you made fun of me last time I burnt something. That was the portable K-Cup coffee maker. A buddy Rick had. I had to come over and try it out. It's running on about 4:30 in the evening, and I usually don't drink coffee this late, but I had to try it out. I think it's pretty cool. Still ain't as good as the French press though, I can tell you that. But it's a whole lot cleaner, a whole lot less messy. Fish on. Oh, I didn't bring my net down. Well, the good news is I don't have to sell my fishing stuff. Right on, bud. Oh man, there's a snowstorm that just came in, and we had to get in here, and it was just getting too cold. Well, today was a travel day anyway. I got some new lures I wanted to try out, and ended up catching one, which is okay. Tomorrow is the real fishing day. I'm gonna head out there early and pretty much stay out there all day long. At least that's the plan. Anyway, it's getting late in the evening, and it's really coming down out there, and it's down to 30 degrees, so I think I may be in for the evening. I'll see you in the morning. We'll see what happens. Good Thursday morning to you. You know, normally we would have coffee outside, but my ability to have a good time only goes so far, and when it's 14 degrees, I can't have a good time. This campground we're staying at's at Lake Miramonte, and it's elk season here in Colorado, and this whole place is just full of elk hunters, and I'm a little bit envious, but that's okay. So if you can hear my generator running in the background, that's perfectly okay, because everybody out here is running a generator, and so I don't have a problem running mine in the mornings like this to try to run electric heat instead of propane heat, because I sure don't want to run out of propane. We still got 2 more days of being out here in this kind of weather. So all the agenda today, fishing all day long. You know, yesterday we went down and just tried out a couple of new lures, and it didn't do too awful good. We caught that one, but today it's just going to be all about that. But I got to let it warm up a little bit. I mean, yeah, I guess I'm a diehard in some ways, but not that bad. I think the weather's calling for partly cloudy today, so we should get a lot of sunshine, and it's supposed to be up in the lower 40s. Now tomorrow it's supposed to be in the mid 50s with nothing but sunshine. And then from there it just deteriorates all the way down to 2 foot of snow by Sunday. The good thing is we're leaving Saturday. I gotta find a car wash for this camper, I know that, before I ever take it back. I'm not gonna sit here and bore you with a long morning coffee talk or anything like that, because I got fishing on the mind. So for the next few minutes, either you're gonna be seeing me catch a lot of fish, or it's just gonna be boring with just me casting. So I'm gonna finish this coffee. I may even have a second cup today. Then we're gonna get going. Oh, and I also got a new little camera I wanted to try out. It's a cute little drone. I think I did a shot of it last night around the campfire, so we're gonna really play with it today. I'll show it to you here in a little while. Other than that, wish me luck. You know, I put that big coat on and my gloves and all that stuff, and came down here, threw about 3 times and started sweating. So I took all that off. It's not all that bad. It's 26 degrees right now, sun shining, and I'm standing here without a coat and feel okay for now. Nothing's biting this morning, so I changed my lure to a little spinnerbait that I got off Amazon, because one of the people that fish here in Colorado swear by these, and I used this in another video up at Echo Lake, and he said you'll catch fish on your first throw, and I proved him wrong. So let's try it out here. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna tell you right now, you haven't experienced cold until you sit on a vault toilet at 14 degrees. That's cold. All right, let's see what happens. I tried that other lure, but it just didn't do any good. May not just be hitting right now. I came all this way to fish, I'm gonna fish. We're gonna do this all day long. And then all day tomorrow. Fish on. It's a small brown. Look how pretty. Right on. You know, I don't care if they're small, big, whatever. I just want to fish. Well, I was able to catch a couple more, and you're just gonna have to take my word for it. You know, sometimes it's just too hard, or I forget to hit that record button on my chest there, and I don't have enough memory card to sit and just have this thing run for hours and hours and hours, you know, while I'm just casting. Of course, who would watch that anyway? You know, 1 fish an hour is just not fast enough for me right now. I don't have the patience for that. And plus, the wind just picked up. It's rocking on about 20 miles an hour right now, and I think I'm gonna head back up to the camper for a little bit, and till this wind dies down, then I'll come back down and try some more. Well, it's back at 4 o'clock now, and just have been held up in the camper all day, and this is not how it's supposed to have gone this week. This was the last ruha, you might say, for the end of the summer before winter, and I had every intention to fish until my arms fell off, and you know, it just hadn't been cooperating. It's been windy and nasty all day long. It's been overcast. It's just been a hard wind, and it's just been cold, let's put it that way. You know, and you can only be so miserable before you just quit having fun. So you might say I've had unrealistic expectations for this week. I expected the weatherman to be halfway close to what he said it was going to happen, and we were going to be in the 50s with sun shining. I didn't expect it to be this cold. The winds were only supposed to be 5 miles an hour, so that's what I get for having expectations. But I know you can see that mountain in the background. That's just still a beautiful view. I'm not saying I'm not having fun. I'm just saying that I wish it could be better. Of course, we all do, right? After this trip, I wanted to be sick of fishing. And you may say that's not possible. It actually is. Me and a buddy went up to Canada, northern Canada, as a matter of fact, way up on the other side of Saskatchewan. And it was one of those dream trips, you know, a trip of a lifetime, the bucket list trip, where you fly into a lodge. It's out on a little island, and then From there, every morning you went on a float plane, you went to other lakes all over. They treated you like a king. 5-star restaurant. They cater to your every whim. It's just an amazing deal. We went up there for 4 days and caught pike and walleye and lake trout, and I never thought I'd be tired of fishing. But at the end of that last day, we're out in that boat, and me and him never sat down in that boat. Other people that went were all sitting in the boat, and we knew we'd never be able to have the money to go back. So man, we did everything we could to catch every fish. And then the evening of the last day of fishing there, you know, we every time we threw out, we were just hoping a fish wouldn't get on. We were just so sore. We were so tired of fishing, and we weren't going to stop because we knew we'd never go back. I mean, because it was like $10,000 a person, and we didn't pay for it. But man, it was a bucket list dream trip, I can tell you that. And what an awesome time and what an awesome memory. And if I can find some pictures, I'll put them up right here. You know, one of those where the guides took you up on the shore at lunch and they cooked some of the fish that you caught that morning. And what's neat about this place is that the lakes around there only thawed for 3 months out of the year, so it was more of a feeding frenzy for all those fish, and that was catching. Yeah, that wasn't fishing. If you didn't catch at least 60 or 70 a day, then your guide wasn't taking you in the right spots. Either way, this is what it looks like down here right now. Wind's about 10 to 15 right into my face. So we're gonna do this for either 3 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour and a half. It just depends. The 3 minutes is what's probably gonna happen, but let's give it a shot. I was trying to wear a glove this morning, but you know, your finger right here, when it's gloved, you can't feel this line and you don't know when to let go. And I was throwing lures up behind me. I was just like, I can't do this. So there's no way. I've got a pair of those little fishing clubs, but they ain't gonna keep the cold off, that's for sure. It's just not real awful cold right this second, but I just don't see the fish biting. But it beats being laid up in the camper like I have been all day. There goes that unrealistic expectations. I was thinking I was gonna get a fish on the first cast. The people I'm here with, they've got kayaks and dinghies and all that stuff, and I was gonna go out on it, but heck no. Not in this wind. I did pretty decent this morning. It's just one fish every 100 to 150 casts. I just don't have the patience for it. You know, there's a fine line between die-hard and dummies, and I've been walking that line for the last hour and a half. Anyway, got skunked this evening. Still had a great time though. My beard all jacked up right here. Well, Good Friday morning. It's also November 1st. It sure is a lot warmer than it was yesterday, but it's still cold. The goal today, to catch fish. Looks like the wind's not blowing hardly any at all. It's almost like glass out there. So we're gonna get this cup of coffee down and get down there and get to fishing. My unrealistic expectations today is to catch 15. I want 15 nice big browns or rainbows. You know, I say it as a joke because everybody calls me a pessimist, but the way I look at it is if you go into something with unrealistic expectations, then you're always going to be disappointed. If you go into something like, I'm not going to catch a thing today, and you catch 2 fish, you feel like a success. That may be a backwards way of thinking about it, but yeah, it works sometimes. Well, today I'm going to be relentless, so I'm fixing to gear up because it's about to get evil. A lot of these elk hunters are pulling out. We had a bunch of them pull out around 5:30 this morning. I can tell you, I sure am glad I'm using that generator. Bought that a little over a year ago right after I moved up here, and we've had it all this time, and it had 8 hours on it. And I got those cans of gas that are getting to be almost a year old, and even though I put Stabile in them, it still needs to be used. So we're taking advantage of the situation where we can have a generator running and trying to use up some of that old gas. All right, here we are. Yeah, we need to catch some fish today. I just hope it stays this pretty because I really don't want to be held up in the camper again all day. And if that's the case, we may just pack up and go. Let's see if I can get something going. It's the prettiest it's been since we've been here. Man, I sure was expecting a big old pig to come up and get that on that first cast. Oh well. We got all day. All right, I gotta get this big old jacket off. I know this is a random story, but it was funny using those vault toilets up there in this kind of weather. Just kind of reminds me of, I was up in northern Utah elk hunting one year. And the old boy's place that we were hunting on, he had an outhouse outside the cabin. And the outhouse faced west and didn't have a door on it. And it snowed 3 out of the 5 days we were there. And so in the morning after you have your coffee and you work everything up, you had to go to the outhouse. Well, the problem is no door, the snow would just come in on you. And the bench was, had snow on it every morning. So the idea was, to be smart, you're the third person in line. Because the first person had all that snow he had to sit on or clear off. By the third person, the seat was warm. And it wasn't that bad except for still not having a door and the snow blowing in on you. But you always wanted to be second or third. But that was a pretty funny story. I don't know why I thought of it, to be honest. I guess because of how cold that seat was. And yeah, we got a bathroom in the camper, but that's for her, not for me. All right, it's time to get serious. I'm gonna shut you off for a minute and work this thing. Ooh, she's pretty. Yeah, dadgum wind started picking up again. Did this about the same time yesterday. And then it blew all day long and just kept getting stronger and stronger. I don't think it ever stopped blowing last night. We picked up a couple of small rainbows on that little spoon I was throwing. I think I'm gonna go with this crawdad right here. I'm the world's worst at tying knots. You watch some videos of them guys saying, it's just so easy. You just got to do this Ken Morgan over hitch through knot. And you're like, I can do that. I know I can do that. And you go out and try to do it and you're like, I can't do that. It don't look nothing like it. One of my problems is I can't see anymore. So I got these Costas, they're bifocals, and it helps. But then your fingers are so big and numb that you can't feel the line, and you just end up going right back to your old, how you learned how to tie your shoe back when you were just a kid. And then complain when your lure snaps off when you get a big fish, So, all right, we'll see what this does. Yeah, that wind's really picked up now. It's running about 10 miles an hour. Well, I thought maybe this crawdad would do something because every fish I've caught, they've spit out crawdads. And there's a lot of crawdad traps around here. From what I understand, there's just thousands of them here. Millions, whatever. Well, I guess we'll go back to one of these. Try to pull something out of the water. Well, I guess I need to go back up and change my underwear or something so I can change my luck. I haven't had a bite in the last 150 casts and thrown 3 different lures. So much my hand's cramping up. So you know what I'm gonna do? Instead of getting discouraged, I'm gonna sit right here just for a few minutes, just take in the scenery. I mean, it doesn't matter if I catch anything or not. I'm not at work. I'm not in the city. I'm not sitting in the apartment. I mean, it's beautiful in its own way out here for sure. I've seen prettier spots, but it's all in the eye of the beholder, I guess, and perspective of it. Yeah, I think I'll just sit here for a few minutes.
I didn't know what my heart was in for till you stepped into the room. And I didn't show, but I wanted to know everything I could about you. See, I was told the dreams were made to be believed in, so I put every single dream in you. But you said,
Well, I just had a major malfunction just now. Check this out. So my little deal right there come unscrewed and fell off, making it where that just falls right out. And I've looked all around this place for it. I don't know where my little cap went. And it could be anywhere. It could be in the water. It could be down one of these little crevices. Well, the good thing is I brought backup. So I'm gonna grab all my stuff and head back up to the camper, and I'm gonna get a bite to eat while I'm there and then regroup and get back down here. So I fished all morning long, and I fished hard and only came up with a couple of rainbows. Came back and ate a little bit of lunch and sat around for a few minutes, and it's getting on about 3 o'clock, so as I head back down. But the biggest question is, do I really want to keep fighting this wind? Not really, but I'm here. There's nothing else to do besides sit in the camper. And even though the temperature says it's 51, it feels like it's in the 30s, that's for sure. But I'm gonna head back down and see if I can lose any more lures. We'll see what happens. All right, what I talked about earlier about expectations, first cast, here we go. Ha! You sling it hard, this wind just blows it right back in. Well, you know, I'm always up for a good challenge, but I know when I'm beat. That's okay. Man, it was a great time out there. Arms so sore. I know, what a problem, right? I think I'm gonna try again about daylight in the morning, but we gotta get out of here. We got a 7.5 hour drive, and I don't wanna do it in the dark. So I'll fish maybe about an hour in the morning and we'll head out. Just awesome time, beautiful out here. The wind wouldn't have blown so bad, it would probably have been perfect, but I guess that's what makes it a challenge. Will I drive this far again to go fishing? I don't know, probably. But there's so many other spots to get to, you know, that I want to check out, besides just coming back to the same place over and over. I think the wind's died down enough. We're gonna have a little fire and maybe even grill out some hamburgers. We don't know. Other than that, I think that's about it for tonight. I'm just gonna relax and enjoy the evening. Well, it's Saturday morning, and normally we'd be having coffee right now, but I was an overachiever this morning and got up before daylight and was down on the water. This is day 4, and my heart just ain't in it. You know, we got so much stuff out here, and it's gonna take us 2 hours to get packed up and get out of here. Then it's another 7.5 hour drive home. There's 2 foot of snow coming in this afternoon, so we sure want to get out of here before then. But man, what a great time. It was hard. Parts of it was miserable, but I've had it worse. A lot worse. I think if the wind wouldn't have blown so much, it wouldn't have been as bad, but trying to do anything in 14 to 20 degrees is just horrible, especially if you're on the water and fishing. Something else a little different. I really didn't have a plan for this video here. It's just gonna be kind of all over the place, and I hope you halfway enjoy it. I'll edit it the best I possibly can. But I know one thing's for certain, we have to find a truck car wash on the way home. I'm not gonna tarp that camper looking like that, that's for sure. Well, in the end, it was a great adventure. We caught a lot of fish. I didn't show them all on here just because even that would get boring, I'm sure. Didn't catch as many as I wanted to, but still caught a few. We're taking some home. Between the ones that were fishing here, I think a 26-incher was the biggest brown that was caught out of this Miramonte Reservoir. It's just a monster. I think I caught one, it was 20, and all the rest of them are smaller than that. And a bunch of little small rainbows. Well guys, I ain't getting anything done just sitting here talking to you. I gotta get moving here. I mean, we gotta get home before dark, so we gotta be out of here in the next hour and a half. I appreciate you coming on this wild adventure with me. It's been wild, that's for sure. And if you want to keep coming on these adventures with me, go ahead and hit that subscribe, like, and button, and turn on the notifications, and you'll be notified every single time I drop a video. We have a lot of things in this off season coming up. We're going to be touring a lot of campers. We're going to be going to RV dealerships all over Colorado and looking at truck campers, pull behind campers, you know, things like that. Maybe that'll be some interest to you. Kind of showing you the ins and outs of them, because I love campers and I love going through them even if I'm not in the market. But you gotta admit, this place is beautiful. This is one for the books, I can tell you that. But I'll quit boring you and I'll get to work. So always remember, if we can treat each other with respect, that's half the battle. And always remember to leave it better than you found it. So if I don't see you on the trail, I'll see you down the road.
Thank you. You're incredible.